Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is December 17th, and right now we are looking at the infrared satellite imagery. You see our storm spinning off the coastline here. You got the Bay Area in Southern California. Look at all the lightning associated with this storm. This will be moving across the region here over the next couple of days, bringing some heavy precipitation amounts central and Northern California. Secondary storm is going to try to target Southern California as we go through the upcoming week. We'll dive into those details, and then we'll take a look at the extended forecast as we go through the video here this morning. Had a special marine warning out this morning for water spouts. So heads up, if you see some of those stronger showers rolling around here, because there's some dangerous lightning, some gusty winds out there, and you might even catch a water spout. Taking a look at Los Angeles National Weather Service, you got Storm 1, mainly light amounts down through Southern California. The Storm 1 is going to be really central in Northern California, but Storm 2, definitely higher impact storm incoming here, and the confidence is starting to increase, although it is still low confidence. It's going to be somewhat cut off, but we'll look at those details here in a moment. You can see some gusty winds associated, but snowballs should remain fairly high. Now, taking a look at day 1 through 3, winter storm impacts, higher amounts for the higher terrain, but it could drop down to some of those higher passes over the next few days, so kind of keep that in the back of your mind. Donner Summit, about 7,200 feet here, and I'm showing you that because you can see it does show the snow level dropping down by the time we get towards Wednesday here. This is National Weather Service Sacramento. This goes through December 20th. But again, these big amounts, 1.5 to 2 feet here, should be across the higher terrain. So anyway, just kind of keep that in the back of your head. But look at the rainfall forecast. The Bay Area, big amounts. You can see Sacramento 2 to 3, Redding, Fort Bragg 3 to 4 here. And again, the snow level trying to drop down a bit here by the time we go towards Wednesday, and we could have some flooding concerns with some of this precipitation. And no doubt locally some areas will get much more amounts. There's going to be some hit and miss nature to this storm, thunderstorm activity, and bands of precip moving across the area. So we've also got wind advisories along the coastal areas as well. I'll show you that here in the NAM 3KM in a bit, and it's going to include some of the Sierra Nevada as well and some of the higher terrain across Northern California. So heads up for that, for the gusty winds incoming. And thunderstorm outlook, this will be ongoing as we go through this week coming up here. This will eventually move down across Southern California as well. So just kind of remember that when thunder roars, go indoors. Watch out for some of that dangerous lightning. This is the European. This shows lightning flash density potential. So as I stop right about here, this would be about 8 a.m. this morning. Actually, this is 10 a.m. this morning here, but you can see tiny bit of a break here early afternoon. But then as we go through this evening here and potentially overnight, we have thunderstorm potential across the central California coast up through the Bay Area, even Northern California here as well. So you might get an early wake up call for some thunderstorm activity. Then we get a bit of a break here as we go through Monday afternoon, but the next storm system's setting up shop here, and it's going to try to bring some additional rounds of thunderstorms here across Southern California. We're now on into Wednesday afternoon here, and you can see that thunderstorm potential as we go through Thursday morning, Thursday afternoon. So we need to watch that closely, and we've got big precipitation and potential with this storm as well. And hopefully it brings some needed precip across Arizona and New Mexico as we go on in through the weekend. Now, looking at what the Doppler radar would look like over the next 60 hours, you got the Bay Area here. There's Southern California. This is the activity going on over the coastline as we speak. Put that into motion, and you can see some of those rounds of potential thunderstorms moving through this afternoon. And then as we go through the overnight hours, again into early Monday morning, big thunderstorm potential across some of the central coast all the way up towards the Bay Area. I wouldn't even rule out a thunderstorm a little bit further south towards Southern California, but you can kind of see how this just continues on as we go through the day tomorrow. Additional rounds of precipitation, heavy at times, thunderstorm activity all the way on in through Tuesday afternoon. And then the next storm is developing, continuing to bring precip into the state. And that secondary storm is going to drop all the way down across Southern California. Looking at accumulated max 10-meter wind gusts. So as we go on in through the day Monday, you'll notice some of these bigger winds start to emerge across the coastal areas and the Sierra Nevada there. So heads up for that if you're across some of the higher terrain or the coastal areas for those gusty winds. Or, I mean, any one of these stronger thunderstorms also could bring some gusty winds with it also. So heads up for that. And you can probably still get this weather station by Christmas if you order it now. It's always more fun to watch the weather roll in when you've got a weather station attached to your place of residence. Click on that link down below to save 10% off. I highly recommend that station. Now, this is looking at last night's European. This is a wider view of things here. You got the Hawaiian Islands at the bottom left. There's the state of California, and there's Washington there. There's our storm system off the coastline, and you can see these bands of heavy precipitation rolling in here. And the European also shows that at some point Monday morning, early in the morning, another round of heavy precipitation for the Bay Area, the central coastline. Some rain starts to fall maybe as we go through the day tomorrow for Southern California, but that's not the heavy stuff just yet. But you can see this precipitation is continuing on through Monday night into Tuesday morning across a lot of central Northern California. Again, pretty hit and miss here, but there's going to be some heavy amounts intermixed in there. And then here goes that secondary storm diving down as we go through Wednesday morning. We're now into Wednesday afternoon and night, and big precipitation amounts are being spun up by the storm back into Southern California as a somewhat cut off low then traverses east across some Arizona and New Mexico, hopefully bringing additional precip out there. They really need it. There's some drought conditions going on. Now, this is looking at the European, a closer view of things here. It's the state of California. This is total precipitation in inches on last night's run. So it goes out 144 hours. So I'm going to scroll out to what is this about Tuesday morning here, and you can see the impressive amounts developing across Northern California, some of the Central Coast, Sierra Nevada. Secondary storm comes rolling down, and then it's Southern California's turn here as we go on in through the day, Wednesday on in through Thursday. Some big amounts showing up here. Santa Barbara, the Los Angeles Metro even getting 2+ inches potentially, maybe down towards Oceanside and San Diego as well, and then hopefully bringing a lot of that beneficial precip all the way on in through Arizona and New Mexico. Now, taking a look at the upper levels of the atmosphere, or about 10,000 feet, 700 millibars, you can see what's going on in that cold air associated with the storm currently, and you can also see the winds at 10,000 feet here as well. And put that into motion, and you can see this storm kind of moving across the area here. Heavy precipitation against central Northern California, thunderstorm potential, gusty winds out there, and then the secondary storm. And you can see it in the colder air aloft move down the coastline there, and it gets a bit cut off here as well. So it's going to be kind of slow moving here. So this storm could have some surprises up its sleeve as far as flooding potential across some of Southern California. I've been watching this very closely here over the next couple of days. And yeah, you can see this thing kind of pivot off to the east, and then we get another weak impulse trying to move through here. But then the jet stream is going to get active, and we'll look at that a bit more here in a moment. This is a 72-hour running precipitation total here. This goes through Tuesday night, and you can see it's not yet included Southern California by this time. And as we go on into the future, we're going to stop here Thursday afternoon. You can see some of these heavier precipitation amounts moving down across Southern California. And again, this is a 72-hour running total here. So, a wide swath of beneficial precipitation, hopefully, for much of the state of California and Arizona upcoming here. This is looking up towards Northern California, Crescent City. You can see a 24-hour period. You're approaching 2 inches here by the time you get on into, what is this, about Wednesday, late morning or afternoon, and pretty persistent in the models there as well. So good confidence, especially across the coastal areas and the higher terrain for some nice precip incoming. Look at Redding. I mean, you're talking about 1.3 inches in a 24-hour period and kind of prolonged there as well. So you might get up towards that 2 to 3 inch range or even higher, at least according to some of the National Weather Service forecasts. This is Sacramento. Look at this, 1.3 inches, and then another shot of precipitation here as that secondary storm drops down the coastline as well. So those are pretty high precipitation amounts for Sacramento International Airport. This one would be wrapping up Monday afternoon, and this one would be wrapping up Thursday morning here. So yeah, interesting stuff coming in here with these two storms. Oakland even getting up over 1.18 inches of rain in a 24-hour period. Yeah, cross your fingers for that. Thunderstorm activity possible as well. And look at Los Angeles. This is the European. As we go on in through Thursday afternoon, you're talking about 3.2 inches of rain in a 24-hour period. You could definitely get some flooding concerned with that. And you can see how it's been trending upwards in the European. This is yesterday afternoons, but yeah, you can definitely see that trend. And the model's been picking up on this pretty well here for several days now. And this is looking at last night's European run. The control, 2.7 inches in a 24-hour period. And you can see some of these ensembles are even higher. But you got to throw some caution in there too, because some of these are lower. But still, you're getting up over an inch of precipitation in many of these over a 24-hour period. A very rainy period here for Southern California incoming. In San Diego, kind of some wide and crazy solutions in here. Some of these up over 2 inches in a 24-hour period, and some of these have much less. So you can kind of see the hit and miss nature of this storm as it moves across Southern California. Now, taking a wider look at things, you got Japan to the left, we got Alaska to the top, there's Hawaii, there's the state of California, there's our current storm off the coastline, and we're looking at 39,000 feet up in the atmosphere on last night's GFS run. So put that into motion. You can see that storm moving through. The secondary storm comes diving down the coastline there, bringing that potentially heavy rain to Southern California, finally kicks through there. And then this jet stream is really ripping across Pacific Ocean. And again, like I mentioned here, this is not going away. We have big time potential here as we go towards the end of December for a big storm or two across some portion of the west coast of North America. So yeah, we have to break this down and just continue to watch it. This jet stream is so strong that it's probably going to be changing up here over the next few days where it starts to point these stronger storms. But some of the models have been showing quite significant storm potential here for the state of California as well as we go through the end of December. Now, looking at the spaghetti chart, we're looking up towards 18,000 feet. I wanted to show you this because it kind of paints a nice signal. You can see the storm moving through there and the secondary storm dropping down. Pretty good model agreement. There's 50 ensemble members, so there's 50 of these noodles here that when you're looking at a short-term forecast, they line up quite well. But you can see as you start to go off into the future, they start to diverge a bit. And then you can see that storm push off there. Another weak impulse kind of moves there out of the northwest. But look, as we go off into the extended forecast, you can really see the signal for that strong jet stream and the shape of that trough off the coastline of California here. And this would be December 27th right there. But yeah, you can see it even in the spaghetti chart at that range. It's really showing up quite well. So we have high confidence in that strong jet stream developing. This is the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook here. We're going through December 26th at this time frame. Look at the lower 48, just kind of a noteworthy temperature outlook there for above average across much of the lower 48. 6 to 10 day precipitation, not much has changed there, and 8 to 14 days. So, well, this goes now out to December 30th. And I don't think this has changed since yesterday. I keep trying to update it here, but yeah, they still have that potential for some wind here along the west coast. So it's just kind of fun to look at that. And this is reservoirs plus median snowpack. We're doing okay right now, and hopefully these storms are going to start to build that up a bit here. We're doing fine as far as reservoirs are concerned as of right now, but we're pretty dry vegetation-wise, and you can kind of see it reflected here on the map. So these storms will be extremely beneficial to the state of California and hopefully to Arizona and New Mexico as well. And this is the drought monitor. No drought has emerged yet, but if these storms underperform here or we continue on with this dry streak, we could definitely be looking at the addition of some drought. And I want to point this out. I wanted to plug my friend Dan Lior. He is a filmmaker. He made this video here only in Toledo. You guys got to watch it. Go to Vimeo. I believe that's how it's pronounced there. But yeah, go to vimeo.com there and you can click on it, only in Toledo. This is an amazing story here. This guy, is hard on his luck here, and he had to tow his equipment around on a bike here, and he had to actually, drive around the town to go and mow lawns and try to make money and whatnot. And Dan did a film on him, and it's just amazing. And he does all kinds of other films here, and he actually is for hire. You can hire this guy, and whatever he touches is gold. I storm chase with this guy, and he's got an amazing sense for just lighting and storytelling, and it's really good. So if you know anybody who's into filmmaking or anything like that, give him a call. You can reach him on this website as well, Dan Lior, Lior. So anyway, the storm means business here, you guys. This is going to be pretty crazy over the next few days. This thunderstorm activity is no joke, and there's going to be some very heavy rainfall amounts, and that secondary storm has really high end potential here. A slow moving cutoff low. If this sets up right, will bring some intense amounts of precipitation across Southern California and thunderstorm activity, and it could bring water spouts and whatnot. Maybe some weak tornadoes will make landfall into Southern California also. But we'll watch that potential through tomorrow. I'm off for the next few days, so I'll be able to pay a little bit more attention during the daytime as we go through tomorrow. So we'll watch that storm and continue to break things down. So anyway, hope you guys are liking these videos. Click like and subscribe. We'll do this again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.